Good morning. We are the Fuzis, and I'm sure all of you know my wife, Becki. But for those of you that don't know me, I'm Becki's husband, Al. We began looking for a Lutheran church after purchasing a condo in the area back in 2002 to decide whether this is really a place we wanted to consider retiring to. We would occasionally visit TEP on weekends and during our vacation time at the lake.
Every time we visited Trinity, we were greeted warmly and felt very comfortable from the very beginning as we were considering what church we were really looking for. The major enticement of this church for me was that there's unity here. Religion can be so divisive, and here at Trinity, 3 denominations came together to form a parish and invited others of many other faiths, and it really spoke to me. And then when we began to attend the new member classes, we were given a lot bigger picture of how that worked, and it further really enhanced the idea that this was the place we wanted to be. And then Pastor Gary at the time was our pastor, and his character and warmth and preaching style was really instrumental in making us feel like family right from the beginning. What I find most impressive about Trinity is the many different kinds of ministries that are here and available for us to participate in. During our working careers, we really didn't have much time to volunteer for things, but I find that it's really, there are so many ministries that you can find what really speaks to you, what talents align with what is needed in some of the ministries. So initially, I joined the Altar Guild soon after the first time I retired, and found I really wanted to find out how the different denominations work together, and I thought that would be a good place to start, and I found that to be very enriching. And later on, as the safety team was forming, I thought it would be a good idea to have a medical response team, and I found tremendous support from Pastor Philip as we were considering that. And then lastly, one of the other ministries that I find works well with the talents and the time that I have is Ministry of Caring, which has become really dear to my heart. And of course, there's many other things that you can be involved in. For example, my husband started working with the mules way back in 2008 when he finally retired, and now he leads that group along with the Memorial Garden. He serves on the safety team, the finance team, the transition team, parish council. You can see how many different opportunities there are to serve in this church. So we're very blessed with having had really delightful careers. I worked as a nurse, and my husband worked in sales and management, and God has provided very generously to us. So we have had an opportunity to give back in many ways, and that very speaks to how generous God is and how generous we need to be as well. So we make sure that we tithe, and it's part of our annual financial planning. And then there are many other charities, particularly local charities, that are dear to our hearts.
As we all know, generosity comes in many different forms, including time, talent, and sharing our financial resources that God has provided us. I first learned generosity at a very young age while serving as an acolyte at a Lutheran church in Flint, Michigan. After completing 3 years in the public schools, I started attending the grade school at our church. My parents could not afford the tuition for me to attend this school, but somehow the church managed to find the financial means for me to attend through the 8th grade. These years not only provided the foundation for my Christian life, but lifelong friends who I still stay in contact with today. God provided me the loan to attend that Lutheran school some 60 years ago. And today, I continue to joyfully and generously pay him back interest on that loan. Since writing the generosity story, while I was back in Michigan, I was reminded of another generosity story from the widow of a good friend of mine. And I want to share that with you this morning because I think it applies to our parish. I mentioned that I went to the Lutheran school in Flint, where my lifelong friend's mom worked as a cook in our school when I was only 9 years old. Fast forward 60 plus years, and she still volunteers her time and talent at 93 years old, working in the office 2 to 3 days a week. So let this be an inspiration to all of us sitting out here today that you're really never too old to offer your time and talents. And our greatest hope for TEP is that we use our people, our ministries, our talents, and the financial resources that God has given us today to help recruit and grow future parishioners to lead our parish for generations to come. Thank you.